Hello and welcome, lowly third-dimensional beings, to the flagship show of the Grand Aquarium Empire, the only show in any dimension where the fate of an entire planet is in your hands. This is Radio Free Multiverse.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
I'm Fluval, Grand Trivia Master of the Aquarium Empire, and with me today is intern Patrice.
I'm intern Kristie. Oh my gosh, I'm intern Kristie. Well, I'm so excited to have all of you joining us today. Fluval, what planet's fate hangs in the balance tonight?
That would be Dog Earth, where dogs rule and humans drool.
It's the planet where everyone is a good boy. Oh, you're such a good boy. Who's a good boy? You're the good boy. You're the good boy.
It's the planet where setting off fireworks is punishable by death.
Oh my goodness. What an interesting, fun, and exciting place whose fate lies directly in all of your hands. Today I'm super excited for all of the great things that we have planned for you. We have this town poem that we picked up when we were scanning the broadcasts of Dog Earth, and then when we tried to cut it out of the broadcast, our entire station shut down. So we have a little town poem, and then we have a super special guest. We're going to be watching the Westminster Human Show with a champion human. And then, of course, what you are all really here for, the most glorious part of any night or day or any time outside of time and space. Grand Trivia with Grand Trivia Master Fluval of the Grand Aquarium Empire Network.
But right now,
home for hatred and humiliation of human beings.
But right now, let's get started. Kiesel, play that intercepted tone poem.
You're walking through the park when you decide to play a little trick. You pretend to toss the ball for your pup, and when they come scampering back, they're holding the ball, the one that you just pretended to throw. The one that's still behind your back. Oh, you're holding a different ball. It's sticky. Is it just organ meats and teeth? Your dog whines expectantly at you. You throw the ball and watch your dog slither away. Is that even a dog? You blink. What's a dog?
I truly don't know how anything that short could have crashed all of our systems, but you know, Kiesel's incompetence never ceases to amaze me.
Never does. But I'm especially excited for what we have next. I'm so excited to invite to the show Hue Mann, or as you're also known as, I heard, Slinky on the circuit.
That is correct. Intern Kristie, was it? And, of course, Grand Emperor Fluval, thank you so much for having me tonight.
No. I'm the Grand Trivia Master. I would
Cool.
never challenge the reign of Grand Emperor Aquarium. You know what, honestly, I just have one. How dare I can't believe this lowly human would try to undermine the Grand Emperor like that. I mean, it's just, I guess, you know, we booked it, the human, so I'll bring the human back, but I can't believe they'd do that.
We love the Grand Emperor, and the Grand Emperor is the bringer of all things amazing. They're the endless fish tank from whence all sea life is decanted.
Okay, you're back now, human.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
Good.
Terribly
Good,
sorry,
it better
folks.
not happen again.
My dog owner has told me that I am a bad boy and I will not get a biscuit today. So, my dearest apologies to Grand Emperor Aquarium and, of course, Trivia Master Fluval for my mistake.
Look, you're lucky your dog owner didn't swat you with a newspaper.
Yes, I am very lucky. I have a very good dog owner.
That is amazing. So, Hue Mann, tell us a little bit about being a champion human. How did you reach such an exalted position before we jump into watching some scenes from this year's Westminster Human Show?
Oh, that's an excellent question. It turns out that human shows are actually rather popular on several planets. So simply by winning 3 of these shows, I became champion for a time of the show human shows, so to say. And it brought me a bit of acclaim. Of course, brought more acclaim to my dog owner, who's such a good boy, and has gotten many interesting and delicious treats for my success. So, all things considered, I'm just happy to be here tonight and talk about the shows and maybe give some pointers to the younger and, of course, less talented show humans out there.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Hue Mann, how did you get into being a champion human? How did you join the circuit? What's it like for any humans who might be thinking about going about that because they're perhaps not clever enough to be an intern for the Grand Aquarium Empire Network?
That is another excellent question. You are full of those today. Humans are bred on a planet very close to Dog Planet, and our entire ecosystem is basically designed to make us pets for the dog owners. We are essentially bred to bring out certain traits. We are quite often starved so that our muscles can look a little bit more pumped up. We can get into that later when we get into the attire of a show human. And all things considered, it is the luckiest day in a human's life if a dog, a good boy, comes in and brings that lucky human home. I have been so blessed that my dog owner decided to bring me home and train me so that I could become not just a human, a show human, and not just a show human, a champion.
Oh my goodness, so inspiring. Let's start running the tape from this year's Westminster Human Show, and you can fill us in on this really interesting cultural thing.
Absolutely. It looks like here the dog the dog owner wants its human to put it down. And as you can see, these devices in Kristie, I don't know how much you know about a human show. There are several devices that a dog owner can use to communicate with their human, since humans are so low that they can't actually speak dog. And so you can see that this dog is using a number of these implements. Each of those rods is actually an electromagnetic sensor. So when the dog jumps over it, it communicates to a chip in the human's mind what it wants the human to do. And you can see this human is very good. It's staying close to, but not too close to its dog owner. It's very fast on its feet. You can see the dog is there chewing on the sneakers. Sneakers and shoes like that are both treats for dog owners and also help the show humans move faster on the field.
Oh, very nice. Tell me a little bit about the attire that we're seeing in these show humans.
Absolutely. This particular show human, she's a blonde, like myself, is wearing very close-fitting pants. Now, remember what I was talking about earlier, is that humans are often dehydrated and starved so that they can look better for dogs. And this form of clothing helps accentuate sort of the resource control that a dog owner has over their human. Kind of shows their dominance in the situation. So this dog owner has very clearly attired their show human in form-fitting pants. The shirt, it's pretty standard.
Pretty standard. So this human just won such a lovely award. Have you met this human on the circuit before? Do you feel threatened by other humans achieving these championships? Tell me about that.
Being a champion of 3 different sort of stints in the field, I personally don't feel entirely threatened. However, this particular human is a female presenting human. Now, it can be a little difficult for you, higher dimensional creatures to tell humans apart. This one has a long ponytail, which is actually an intentional aerodynamic adjustment. See, dogs found that if they were to create ponytails or some other sort of back flapping element to a human's head, it would act sort of like a bird's tail, as it were, bringing the human closer to the animal kingdom, which is the true and right kingdom where all life exists. Of course, topped by the Aquarians. And so this particular human, I wouldn't feel threatened by, but the ponytail does give me pause. She might be a particularly nasty competitor.
I just want to interrupt to really highlight how much I respect what Pixel did here. You see, forcing the humans to carry them around, I think that's a great way to show who's boss, you know? I mean, we've actually done similar things here where a complex system of levers and pulleys is often used to move an aquarium around the studio because our tanks don't always move, you know? And yes...
I was going to ask, actually, Grand Trivia Master, how is it that you travel, if you do travel, down to planets such as this in the third dimension, or do you predominantly stay in the higher dimensions yourself?
I would never lower myself, literally and figuratively, to setting fin on a planet. I'm always up here in the space station. And I mean, as you can see, I have hologram technology, which is what I'm doing right now on the show, so it can appear as though I'm on one of those planets, but I never truly am.
Oh, never. Oh my goodness, no. All of that dirty, disgusting work goes to us lowly humans.
I also have a question about what I'm seeing here. There's a lot of sponsorship for the Neutrina Pro plan. Is that a plan that the dogs have planned and the humans are executing, or what kind of plan is that?
Neutrina is a plan by which failures in the human shows are ground up and turned into food for the dog masters. So Neutrina has to do with the nutrients that comes from these show humans. So there is actually a good sort of incentive for show humans to really give it their all. You know, if you place on the podium, top 3, you're golden. If you get 4th or below, well, you just didn't cut it. And you get to be food for the champion dog owners.
I mean, that's fascinating. I mean, I see the incentive there, absolutely. I want to highlight this is Pink, named after the singer,
Yes.
who is, of course, a dog with naturally growing pink fur.
Very much so, yes. And I have heard the Yowls. Several CDs were given to us on Human Planet so that we could know the voice of true dog icons. And the howls and yowls that we play late into the night are definitely comforting. Especially those of such as Pink and other such musical dog artists.
Wow, tell me a little bit about what's happening here. It looks like we have another dog has been commanding, look, these humans are hugging each other. What's with this camaraderie? I thought they were going to be ground up into food.
You can see that there is a camaraderie between the humans. That is because the dog owners wish for the humans to play nice. You know, when humans are taken out to the park by their dog owners and given the chance to sit on benches next to other humans or discuss things over by fences, it is often the desire of the dogs that the humans play nicely. If you injure another dog's human, you could potentially get into a situation where one dog has to pay the other dog in squeezy balls or tennis balls for injuries from subsequent fights. So what this camaraderie comes from sort of a professionalism of the humans understand their dog owners want them to play nice.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. Tell me about the day in a life of a champion human with a dog owner.
Well, champion humans, like myself, tend to get the cream of the crop. We are allowed to take our dogs outside as many times as we want. We are allowed to buy multiple pairs of loafers that we can just leave around the house and, at our dog's bidding, try to take away from them just so they can exert their dominance. A champion human usually gets an excess of treats as well. They usually come in the form of either bubble gum or peanuts, you know, things that dogs can't enjoy, but they can give to their humans. So I personally have a rather large bubblegum collection, which I am pretty proud of.
Wow, that sounds pretty exciting. But is there any kind of genuine relationships that you end up having with other humans?
As a show human, there is a little bit less of an incentive to socialize. As much as we need to play nice with each other, we are in competition, and it's only the best humans who make it above the others and don't get turned into nutrients. So, all things considered, I don't have a lot of other human friends, but my dog owner assures me that's absolutely normal, and all I need is his fur, which is very soft and a lovely thing to scratch day in and day out.
Oh my goodness.
This look at this human is so excited for how well its dog owner did.
That dog owner seems to have done a very interesting thing, which is it let its human wear a hat. This is not commonplace in competition such as this, since the hat would, of course, as we were talking about aerodynamics, be an impediment to that. However, there is an old precedent back from 1962 where the Russian humans used hats to obstruct their eyes from their competitors. If you've ever played, intern Kristie, an old Earth game called Poker, it is a game in which one usually tries to obscure their intentions from others. And the Russians found in 1962 that if they wore hats, that it could obscure their intentions and thus psych out the other show humans, which occasionally did work, causing some of the show humans to falter and get turned into dogmeat.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Tell me a little bit about what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing the human is walking, not moving very quickly.
Yeah, this human is not very good. You can see that with larger dog owners, like this dog here, they want their humans to be more cuddly. Frequently, it has to do with their larger body mass has more area for scratches. So humans are usually, for larger dog owners, designed for sitting on couches, and scratching behind ears. So for this dog owner to bring a human as slow as this into the competition is not necessarily surprising. It's just a little unfortunate.
Wow. It sounds like that he's just looking for an excuse to get another human.
So I have a question. Why? So all those humans in the crowd,
Yes.
I've heard that they're there sort of auditioning and living vicariously through the show humans. Did you ever watch any of these kinds of shows as an audience member before you started your amazing championship run? And if so, can you tell us about that?
That is an excellent question as well. I was actually in one competition stand before I was chosen by my dog owner to become a potential champion. It is a way of sort of inspiring the young and the old, because no human is too old to try out. Just many are too old to succeed. And so in audiences like this, you see a lot of the old living, as you were saying, vicariously through them, and they bring their younger humans so that the humans can potentially be inspired to have a place as owned by a dog.
Wow.
And is there any tips you'd want to give out there for very aspiring show humans about what they can do to prepare and eventually maybe rival a record such as yours?
Well, that is always the question, isn't it? Is what can you do to be as good as me?
Yes.
I would say that if you're looking to be a champion show human, you need to do the big things that dogs love. You need to follow their orders. You need to be good like a good boy, and you need to not be a bad boy. And a lot of humans have trouble with that. Sometimes you find humans doing things they really shouldn't be doing, and those are often bad humans, not very good for ownership. So remember, just like the fable of Sandy Claus, which I think is an old human mythology, make sure that you're a good boy, just like your good dog.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Hue Mann, I feel totally enlightened
Absolutely.
into the culture of Dog Earth and humans' place within it. Is there anything that you would like to share with our audience, which is going to be playing for the fate of Dog Earth itself in just a moment? Hi, Henry.
Hello, Henry. Cousin of the mighty Joan.
Is Henry a dog?
Henry is a higher dimensional being, so technically, like, way better than a dog, but not as good as the aquarium.
Well, no, I mean, who's as good as me?
My understanding is no one other than your superiors in the Aquarium Empire.
You are correct, sir.
Oh my gosh, you're totally correct.
All I would want to add at the end of this is that just remember out there that it doesn't matter if you're a show human or if you're a stay-at-home, scratch-behind-the-ear human. Eat your vegetables and listen to authority. Authority always knows what's right.
Oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much, Hue Mann, or Solanke.
3-time Human Show champion.
Really excellent. Next, about 10 to 20 minutes of your time before your planet's destroyed. Probably.
I know that a big saying on Dog Earth is to never forget to spay and neuter your human pets, because human pet overpopulation is a big problem on Dog Earth. But I would like to actually say, hey, don't spay and neuter your pets, because human overpopulation is a huge problem on Dog Earth, and I just love the suffering that comes with that.
Oh my goodness, the suffering of people living on top of each other, these humans wandering the streets in feral colonies, starting wars with each other. Oh my goodness. It's like watching late-stage capitalism. Who will survive? Except, like, a dog version.
Exactly. And now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show. Grand Trivia with me, Grand Trivia Master Fluval!
Oh my goodness! I'm so excited!
So here is the Kahoot room code. Join the room to play for the fate of Dog Earth.
Tonight they're going to face their fate in the form of feats of trivia. If you succeed in this trivia competition, well, then Dog Earth will live to bark another day. Throw another ball in that park, the dog days will not be over. But if you lose, the dog days will be over. Because we'll destroy Dog World. There won't be any dogs anymore.
Right, see, days are often tied to a revolution of planets, and so if there's no planet, there therefore can be no more days.
Yes.
Just explaining it for all the third-dimensional beings out there, because I know it can be a little complicated for them sometimes.
Yes, it can be very complicated. I know that things can get very complicated for me in this just dog-eat human world, right?
Well, and I mean, I live outside of time and space, and yet I feel like I actually have a better understanding of time than many lowly third-dimensional beings.
Well, of course you do, Fluval. You're so much
But
better
I
than
mean,
all of us.
as Henry said, it's very grand.
Very, very grand. Looks like we still don't
Yeah, it
have
looks like these
players.
humans
it looks
are...
like a bunch of people watching just...
Fluval.
Oh my God, it's Fluval, but
30% smaller. Welcome, smaller me. I can only assume you're going to ace this quiz that your intern wrote for you.
Probably. Oh,
a fish named F.
Welcome, fish named F.
Feet of trivia.
Excited.
I like that. I like that.
Excited.
I'm impressed also that a sapient pair of feet is evidently playing this game.
Oh my goodness, I'm so impressed. So much more clever than a full human.
Oh yeah, and I mean even more than most feet.
And while everyone is playing this game of trivia, I'm going to be making for everyone a dog! Out of these wires that I just kind of pulled out of the wall, they probably don't have to do with anything.
I'm sure it's fine. Welcome again, Big Dale. Last Farquaad's
Oh, it's Big Dale!
winner.
And fantastic
Flognar and Fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome, Fantastic. Fantastic to see you. 4 more people are watching and have yet to join the trivia. We'll give you a few more minutes. You also may not want to save Dog Earth. Or, well,
that's okay if you hate dogs, because honestly, look, we have a lot of studio cats here, and we did have a slight problem with studio dogs, but then when I shooed all of the dogs away, the studio still worked.
It's true. It's true.
That's why we had to keep the cats, but we got rid of the dogs. We sent them to Dog Earth, where they're about to be destroyed.
How's your little dog coming, Charlene?
It's coming along. I have a little head of the dog.
Oh, look at that.
Absolutely dogsome. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a little head and a body starting, and I'm gonna start the body.
And I'm
making the legs.
Going to start the trivia. If you want to join, if you're in the process of joining, you can still join at any time by using the Kahoot code at the bottom of the screen. But now it's Kahoot Dog Earth Edition.
Oh my god!
In the Grand Aquarium Empire, we have a saying: sweat is just the vital, pure water desperately trying to escape the horrors of a third-dimensional form. But where are a dog's sweat glands located? On their tongue, their paws, their nose, or their fur? Only one of these spots has the location of their sweat glands. Which is it?
That's part of why being a human is just so inconvenient, because there's just holes all over us. We're so permeable.
I mean, that's why it's great being a higher dimensional being that exists on pure hatred, is I don't need sweat glands.
You don't. You also don't get affected. Oh!
2 of you got it correct. It's their paws. Those sweat glands work similarly to human ones, but panting is far more important in helping a dog cool off. Also, there are additional glands over their body, but that is more to secrete pheromones than sweat. So let's see who is climbing the leaderboard. Evidently, 30% smaller Fluval is also 30% wrong, so you better get some next questions right. Fantastic is in first, and Feet of Trivia is in second. Second question. Which fictional dog was originally named Too Much?
Oh my goodness.
Is that Pluto, Mickey Mouse's dog friend? Is that Scooby-Doo? Is that Lassie? Or is that Beethoven?
Oh my goodness. My favorite of those is Pluto, because we turned that dog into a planet and then turned it back into a dog, and now it's just really confused and it keeps orbiting the station.
That was a fun prank we did. Yeah, we have fun here. We have fun here.
You can still see him orbiting the station on clear nights.
You can hear him orbiting the station on all nights.
That's true. Oh my gosh.
None of you got it correct. It was in fact Scooby-Doo.
Wow.
The creator of Scooby-Doo was inspired by Frank Sinatra's scat Dooby Dooby Doo at the end of his recording of Strangers in the Night on a flight to one of the development meetings, and decided to rename the dog Scooby-Doo and rechristen that new show Scooby-Doo. Where are you?
Where are you?
Where are you, Scoob?
Where are you? If anyone knows where Scooby-Doo is,
Here's our third question.
so let us know.
Strelka, a Russian stray, was the first Earth-born creature to go into orbit and return alive, which she did in the Soviet Sputnik 5 spacecraft in 1960, which I have to say, I find Sputnik very aesthetic.
So aesthetic.
Her daughter, Pushnika, had 4 puppies with which United States president's dog? Is it JFK's Terrier Charlie, Jimmy Carter's Afghan Hound Lewis Brown, LBJ's Beagle him, or LBJ's other Beagle her?
It definitely wasn't LBJ's other Beagle, Little Beagle.
Or LBJ's other Beagle, Beagle. Was not those ones. All these ones are real dogs, by the way.
Yes.
Him and her were not just the hit project of Zooey Deschanel. They are also LBJ's dogs.
Yep.
2 of you got that correct. It was, in fact, JFK's dog, Charlie, who probably bit his finger. Pushnika was a gift to Caroline Kennedy from Nikita Khrushchev. Belka and Strelka spent a day in space, accompanied by a great. These are other dogs. That's where it doesn't matter. But yeah, it was Charlie.
Don't
An
worry,
intern
we
gave me
recovered
unnecessary
all of the
information.
dogs.
We recovered all the dogs for sure. They're all fine. Big Dale and a fish named F are moving up in the leaderboard with some nice new arrows that I don't think I've seen before.
But Fantastic still holds the top spot.
Yeah, you do. Why are hot dogs called hot dogs? Is it because they used to contain dog? They were initially created as dog food. It's an evolution of calling them dachshund sausages.
Definitely.
Or the first time someone ate one, they shouted, "Hot dog, that's good."
That absolutely happened. I was there.
Hot dog, that's good. You humans do love consuming matter.
We do love consuming matter. I was there to make sure that all of the factory practices that were going on were not investigated by, like, muckraking journalists out there to try and fix the food system.
Yeah, get out of here, Upton Sinclair. 4 of you got that correct. It's an evolution of calling them dachshund sausages. As Mental Floss has noted, some think that the name switched from dachshund sausages to hot dogs because a cartoonist couldn't spell dachshund sausages.
I can't spell dachshund either, but I don't need to.
Look, many third-dimensional beings are confused and assume dachshunds and dachshunds are actually separate kinds of dogs.
No,
but they're not.
Dachshunds are actually multi-dimensional beings. You really gotta look out for those. This is why we don't leave our sweaty socks in our rooms in the stations. We throw them directly in the incinerator. Otherwise, the dachshunds will come.
Let's see what 4 of you getting that correct did to the standings. Oh, a fish named F has taken the lead. Big Dale's in second. Feet of Trivia is in third. 30% smaller me is in fourth.
Wow.
And I like what Head Cheese Henry said. Dog-son sausages they are.
Yep, dog-son sausages.
Dog-son. And Fantastic, the former leader, is now in 5th place. But let's move on to our next question. Around 1740, Roman Catholics formed a secret fraternal group when the Pope forbade Catholics from joining the Freemasons. Which dog was this secret group named after? Is that St. Bernards, Pugs, the aforementioned Dachshunds, or Golden Retrievers?
I'm making a Golden Retriever.
Yeah, you are making Golden Retriever.
It's golden.
Oh, it has a silver leg like C-3PO.
It has a silver leg, just like C-3PO. And once I let it go, it's going to retrieve all of the souls of the dogs that die when we destroy Duggar.
I know, I've been a member of many secret fraternal groups as well. One of you got that correct. It was, in fact, Pugs.
Oh,
the Pug was chosen because it's a symbol of loyalty, trustworthiness, and steadiness. To join, members were expected to prove their devotion by kissing the rear of the Grand Pug under his tail. Thankfully, right on the butthole, but thankfully for these humans, the Grand Pug was just made of porcelain.
Which was super silly, I thought.
And other wacky habits they had included wearing dog collars, scratching at the lodge door for entry, and barking very loudly all the time. They also were known for having many physical health problems, such as their eyes popping out of their sockets.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's a lot of problems. Maybe not the best fraternal order to join because it comes with a lot of downsides.
Honestly, it was not worth the medical.
Big Dale has a streak of 3 correct answers in a row, and Big Dale has now taken the lead. Good job, Big Dale, as we move on to question 6. This is a true or false question. True or false, dogs only see in black and white. I mean, the dog pictured obviously can see into your soul, but we're wondering more about the coloration that they see, not their mystical sight, their third sight, their higher sight.
Yes. It's not like your sight, Fluval, where you can see directly through people, and the way that your eyes work sends gamma rays through them every time you look at them.
I can see all! I just, let me do it now. Let me do it right now. Let me show off. I can see into your soul. Okay. Okay, I feel a little better now. Let me cool down a little bit. Okay.
Wait, Fluval, come back. Okay. Good.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I'm not disappearing.
Come a little closer to me, Fluval.
Okay.
The people deserve to see you.
Oh, I see.
You're the most amazing person.
I got so flustered I didn't consider camera sights. Okay, here we go. Gamma rays. Yes, exactly, Head Cheese Henry. But 3 of you got that correct. It was false. It's a common dog fact, but it's incorrect. They have trouble distinguishing between red and green, but they can see browns, blues, and yellows relatively clearly. Also, 8% of human men also have trouble distinguishing between red and green. Just
But
a little.
not all men are dogs.
Not all men are dogs, and that was just a Fluval's fact fractal for y'all.
Yay, Fluval's fact fractals.
The standings haven't changed, so let's move on to the next question. Question 7. How many eyelids do dogs have?
How many?
Do they have 1 eyelid, 2 eyelids, 3 eyelids, or a big ol' 69 eyelids?
This is my special dog, and it has 3 eyes, but only 1 eyelid between all of them.
Is it a giant one that closes to cover all of them, or does only one of the eyes have an eyelid?
Both.
I see. So I presume it starts on the top and then like closes down on all of them, or is it?
It starts at the top, and it looks like it would cover all of them,
Yeah.
but it really only covers the top one. He's my guard dog.
I mean, I'm just stunned by nature's wonder.
Right?
I mean, that's just, you
I
know.
mean, I made him in a lab, but I mean, that's where you get the best labs.
3 got it correct. It's 3 eyelids. They have the top and bottom eyelids, but they also have a nictating membrane in the corner of their eye, which is primarily for removing dust and mucus from the cornea. This third eyelid is usually black or brown, but sometimes it can be pink, much like the dog owner we saw competing earlier in the Human Show. Speaking of, nope, that question's later. The order got shuffled by the intern.
I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
It's okay.
Oh my god.
No, it's okay. You know, it's okay. The Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel breed is also known as the Windsor Spaniel, Royal's best friend, the Spaniel of the Restoration, or the Love Sponge. One of these is a known nickname for this breed, and pictured here is, of course, a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel with a ball in its mouth. Looking just, I mean, I'm generally repulsed by lowly third-dimensional beings, but I gotta say, this one's a real cutie pie.
Oh my gosh, isn't he?
Oh, 3 of you got it correct. It is, in fact, the Love Sponge.
Wow.
These dogs are known for being sweet and gentle and great with children, but they're poor guard dogs because they tend to view all strangers as simply being friends they haven't met.
We use them in the intern training fields to soak up any extra affection that the interns might have.
Question 9. Queen Elizabeth II of Britain is famous for her love of Pembroke Welsh Corgis, Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, Pugs, or Wire Hair Fox Terriers.
Which one? That's one of those really interesting cases where humans evolved in such a way to own dogs, which rarely happens in a multidimensional sense, honestly.
And in some Earths, she just prefers being, bossed around by a Pembroke Welsh Corgi because they have the divine right of corgis. 4 of you got it correct. It is, in fact, the Pembroke Welsh Corgi. Her love of Welsh Corgis began at a young age when her father brought home Dookie, the first royal corgi. The Welsh translation of the word corgi means dwarf dog. I just like Dookie. First Green Day album and the first royal corgi. Here's our next question. We're almost to the end. In 2017, which country had the most dogs? Is that Germany, France, the United States of America, or Canada? Pictured here is about as many dogs as I would want in one place. More than 4, and you just get a lot of rowdy horseplay that I just don't need. I don't need it. It doesn't, or no one gets hurt. It's just why horseplay if no one gets hurt,
Right? Oh my god, it's so wasteful.
Exactly.
honestly.
I mean, like, horseplay isn't a completely renewable resource from third-dimensional beings. They tire, they grow old, they age, they pass away. Like, why waste it on fun times?
Oh my goodness, only one person got it right.
Henry, you can pet those dogs.
You can.
You can pet any of the dogs pictured, but only you. Only Henry, because you're a higher dimensional being.
That's very true.
One of you got it correct. It was the USA, with an estimated 75 million dogs in the country as of 2017. France was a close second, but didn't have enough dogs to take the lead. Let's see what happens here. Oh, 30% smaller me is on a hot streak with 3 answers and is flying up through the rankings. Next question. Petting a dog has the following health benefits. For humans, has the following health benefits for humans. Lowering your stress hormones, slowing your heart rate, relaxing your muscles, or all of the above. Pictured here is, of course, a very happy human petting a dog who looks a little less thrilled to be pet.
Yeah, that human should really back off.
4 of you got it correct. It was all of the above. Which, I mean, that makes sense. And also, petting cats offers many of the same benefits, just in case you're not a dog person.
Yeah, that's very true. That might be why the studio cats are so important to the maintaining of this station, you know?
30% smaller me has risen up into second place with a fish named F in third, Feat of Trivia in fourth, and Fantastic in fifth, but Big Dale has held on to the lead with our final question. What country were Australian Shepherds developed in? Australia, Canada, Russia, or the United States? And of course, we saw an Australian Shepherd dog owner earlier in the Westminster Human Show. So really, this rhymes like poetry.
Yes.
It all comes full circle here on Grand Trivia with me, Fluval, Grand Trivia Master of the Aquarium Empire. And seen here, of course, is an adorable little Australian Shepherd puppy. 3 of you got it correct. It was the United States. It remains unclear why they are known why exactly they're known as Australian Shepherds. But before that name locked in, they were also known as bobtails and pastor dogs. So I can assume they must all be very religious.
Yes, that sounds like it.
And now let's see the final podium. In third place on Dog Earth, it is a fish named F. In second place, it's 30% smaller me. And in first place, it is Big Dale! And interestingly, much like last week, as is known with Kahoot, the quicker you answer, the higher you score. And you can see that here where the person in second and third place both answered the same amount of correct questions correctly.
That's not fast enough.
But not fast enough. And so Big Dale answered more quickly, took the day.
Job,
Congratulations, Big Dale.
Do you want to know what you won?
Yeah, what did you win, Big Dale?
You win, Big Dale. What did you win? What did you...
Don't you worry, humans watching this. There's actually a little swerve here.
A little swerve.
Normally, we destroy the world we go to, but this time, we didn't destroy Dog Earth. We couldn't destroy Dog Earth. They're all too adorable.
Two good boys.
We destroyed the world where the dogs farm humans instead.
Yay!
So really, all we did is made the dogs a little lonely. The humans, horrible things. The humans had a horrible fate, but there's probably still some floating out there in the vacuum of space. But the dogs, they're all fine.
Yes.
So don't worry your little human heads, your little third-dimensional heads. It was only humans that met an untimely end, not pets.
No.
Sorry, dogs. It was pets that met an untimely end, pet humans. I get confused with your little arrangements. All of your lowly third-dimensional beings are equally worse than me. So like dogs, humans, I actually had to have a cheat sheet all show to tell the difference between a dog and a human.
I made the cheat sheet. I think I did a really good job, didn't I, Fluval? Did I do a good job?
You did a great job, intern Cruella.
I'm Kristie. My name's intern Kristie. And it was so exciting to have all of you here today. I want to thank all of the third dimensional beings and upper dimensional beings that joined us. I want to thank Hue Mann, also known as Slinky, for joining us to talk about the Westminster Human Shows, which are going to have a really different flavor now. I think that their main planet for harvesting human is changed.
They'll have to get into the cloning game.
They're probably going to have to get in the cloning game, which could be really
well
fun to
overdue.
watch.
No one needs these artisanally, locally sourced humans. Just grow them in a lab.
Bespoke humans,
Ugh.
not necessary. But thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited that you were all here. And join us next time for more hatred and humiliation of human beings
On Radio Free Multiverse!